I was born pretty. I've been pretty. I stay pretty.
Hi, I'm ALY. I am single. I am 26 years old and I live alone. And you might think, congratulations, you're not special. I know, but listen to me. I'm Native American, and every woman in my family that has had children have had children before they were my age. I'm a brown girl. Brown people be having kids young. And I don't know what to do with my life. But, like, who does? Like, obviously being in your 20s is for figuring yourself out, and, like, that's cool. But, like, I'm not white, so it's not like I can just go do white people shit. I'm not gonna go to college. What do you... You're crazy. I'm not gonna go study abroad. What the fuck? No, instead I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. This is my white bullshit. I'm gonna do some white bullshit and start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna do some white people shit and start a podcast. I work in the music industry. I work in the live event industry. I work in nonprofit volunteering. I do a lot of random bullshit, and it's hard to translate that into a normal career, especially if you don't want a full-time job, which I don't want a full-time job. I recently accepted a full-time job, and then in the process of waiting to actually start the job, which has taken a month, I have not worked a single day. I have not. And guess what? When I quit, like when I give my notice that I don't want the job, I'm gonna have to pay them $250 because they had to obtain a license for me. I know, it sounds really fucking stupid, and I feel like my life has genuinely turned into one questionable decision after another, but hey, I think I'm doing okay. Some people would be, like, questionable about that, but for the most part, like, I'm uninsured, I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent, I don't really have a job. Uncertainty probably scares most people, but for some reason, I feel much more comfortable being uncertain about these things than having to go to the same fucking job every single day and do the same fucking shit over and over and over again. And this is what has led me to this. Entertaining y'all on the internet. Just a little background about me if you don't know who I am, which I don't understand why you would be watching this if you don't know who I am. I'm ALY, I'm 26, I'm Native American, and I live in Phoenix. I work in the music industry, and about a year ago, I was in a long-term relationship of 7 years where I was engaged to a man. Crazy, I know. And you can read about it on my blog. I'm not going to explain exactly what happened. If you want the tea, it's over there. Go read it. And now I'm no longer in that relationship. I live by myself. I'm single. And I'm just trying to figure out this bullshit. And my goal, because I accepted this full-time job and realized that I'm going to hate myself if I actually start doing it. My goal actually is to finish my lease, put all my shit into storage, and travel the country, preferably first, and at some point obtain a passport, because I'm brown and poor. Take it in. And so I don't have a passport. I feel like white people just come out of the womb with a passport. They're, like, ready to go. And then they have the audacity to claim that this is their country. It's insane. When they're, like, willing to go to, like, every other country. I don't have a passport. I've never left the country, really. I've been to Mexico a couple of times, but, like, I was no older than, like, 7 years old, I think. Like, or six, I don't know. I barely remember. So, definitely wasn't old enough to take it in. And honestly, if I go to Mexico now, I don't think I'd be able to come back. Isn't that crazy? I'm Native American. I'm literally just Native American. That's it. That's my knowledge. I look Mexican as fuck, though. Festival season is about to start. And for those who don't know, festival season in the majority of the country goes from May to, like, early October, I would say. It does dip a little bit between like August, September. There's not really much going on. But for the most part, during those parts of the year, there's plenty of opportunities. Like, you can be in a different state every week. It's fun. I love it. I don't, it's all kind of just up in the air for the most part. And like, it's just life in general is crazy. I don't understand how people have a full-time job, wake up and go and live for the weekend. Like, that shit scares me. I hate that. I don't want that. I'm in my era of like, I don't want anything that feels permanent. I barely even want to like live in this apartment. Like, I'm trying to sublet it. Don't tell anyone, but like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to like, so that I can travel. And also I do plan on traveling while I'm still in this lease, and I don't want to pay for it because that's really fucking annoying. Especially if there's nobody living in here, I don't want to pay for it. It makes me so sad because like when I travel, I give my cats to their dad, and then like that's so Gen Z of me, but. And if you're wondering, while I'm traveling, yes, I do have 2 cats. Or what will happen to them? Unfortunately, I will have to give up my custody of them and give them to their father. And I don't think that I would be able to get them back after that. Which I really love them, but I also I've been struggling to kind of like afford to keep them. And like that's not really good. And I know that like my ex-fiance makes a lot of money. So he definitely will be able to take care of them, and he loves them, and he's a great father. He has a dog, he has a cat, his girlfriend has a cat, and then he has these 2 cats, and I think do not fret, do not worry about them. But if you do know me, here are some lore updates that we probably have not gone over. Okay, just to put everything in perspective, I left my relationship in July of last year. I moved out, and then was like kind of traveling with my ex because we had already paid for all of our travel for like Lollapalooza, Warped Tour, Disneyland. Like we had already done the whole shebang. We already paid for everything. Everything was done. So I was traveling and doing everything with my ex in like July and August. And then I moved into my own apartment. So fun. And we ended up going no contact at some point during them. And then a week later I found out he had a girlfriend. I know. It was a lot for me. Had a manic episode. Anyways, I ended up dating somebody very shortly. I mean, I guess it wasn't really that short. It was a month, which is kind of like a long time when you think about adult relationships, I feel like. Or, adult non-committal relationships. I dated somebody for like a month. It was really nice, but then I realized that a relationship just like was not what I wanted. So I ended in like November. And then I also had like, I traveled a lot in October, so I was in like Austin, and then I came home, and then I went back to Austin, and then I went to Vegas, and then I came home, and then I went to Florida, and then I came home, and then I worked my last festival of the season, and then got laid off from my job. So that's kind of just been the last few months to half the year. And also, something that changed in my life was I also went vegetarian. It's very loose, I would say. Or it started off very loose. When I moved into my apartment, I don't cook. I'm going to be the first to admit it. I don't cook. I personally do not find joy in cooking. I just think that you're making a mess, making too much food for yourself, and then wasting money. So, as a single gal, I hate cooking. In my last relationship, I hated cooking. And that's also why my ex hated me. And so I don't like to cook for myself. Sorry. Or at least I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a snack girly nowadays, but I stopped eating meat when I moved into my apartment. Occasionally I would buy things like pizza or charcuterie or random things that had meat, but for the most part I didn't have to cook the meat because I hate cooking. I hate cooking meat. I don't like touching raw meat. Never have. No, nope. Disgusting. And so from like, I would say October-ish, September, October, I was very loosely vegetarian. So like, I didn't have any meat really in my home. I wouldn't really eat a lot of meat, but then like, if I were to go out and eat, like with my family or anybody, I would I would eat meat, but like not at home. Like I wasn't cooking meat for myself at home. So that's kind of how like the vegetarianism started. And then this year, like the first couple of days, I kind of was just like, well, I guess now would be a good time to like really be vegetarian. So I've been vegetarian for a month now. I've eaten meat maybe like one or two times. And it's been pretty, my nose is like really stuffy right now. I don't know what's going on. It's been fine. I may look brown, but I'm white on the inside, so I'm vegetarian, guys. A lot of what it has to do with is, the main reason for going vegetarian is because it's better for the environment. It takes a lot of water to, I'm not trying to preach to you, but I'm just kind of explaining. It takes a lot of water to raise animals for slaughter, and it kind of just seems like wasteful. 75% of agriculture land in the world is used to feed animals so that we can eat the animals. And like there's food shortages, there's obesity, there's like, you know, all of these things, and it's just because meat feel like it just makes more money. So that's why capitalism, meat, whatever. Like Wagyu, what the fuck is that? Like why are you paying extra money for a cow that was treated better? That's a lie. We all know that's a lie. Anyways, yeah, vegetarianism. I've always wanted to be a vegetarian. When I was a little kid, I got in trouble because I told my grandma that I was vegetarian because I didn't want to eat meat. And then I became an adult and like grew my palate a little bit better. But I think that, yeah, for the most part, it's an environmentalism thing. I don't believe in eating meat. I went to a sustainability conference, music sustainability conference last year in LA, and I heard from many speakers who talked about how, sustainability begins in your diet, and eating one plant-based meal saves like 24 showers worth of water. Can you believe that? Just eating one plant-based meal a day. And if like you're like me and you eat a snack and one meal a day, you don't like really eat, you might as well just eat plant-based or vegetarian or whatever. Like, you would be surprised how easy it is to not eat meat. It also keeps me from eating fast food. I do frequent the Taco Bell pretty often, though. I eat a lot of French fries and Taco Bell. Like, that's a lot of what I can eat fast food-wise, so it has helped me keep from eating so much fast food. I eat a lot more vegetables. I, like, find, like, dietary everything elsewhere. I don't know why I'm talking to you so persistently about my diet. But I just feel like that has been, like, one of the biggest changes in my life. And I feel like it's really helped me become healthier, feel better. Like, excuse me. Like, when I was eating meat, I was eating a lot of fast food. And, like, it made my stomach hurt. And, like, I hated it. And, like, nowadays, like, I had, like, I went to Disneyland and I ate meat. Which was a conscious decision. The meat police are not going to come and arrest me for eating meat. So I had a sandwich that had meat in it, and it was very delicious and very yummy. I'm not going to go around and tell people that meat does not taste good, because meat is delicious. I love bacon, I love eggs, I love burgers, but we can find plenty of different alternatives. Honestly, it has made me a lot more empathetic towards animals. Like that, I mean, obviously, like, I love animals. I have 2 cats. I think that we should treat, like, animals, like, the same way we treat cats and dogs. Like, I think all animals, like pigs and cows, like, should be treated with the same respect. I wouldn't want to eat my cat. I wouldn't want to eat a cow. I wouldn't want to eat a pig. I think it has made me a lot more sensitive and empathetic to animals and animal rights in a way that, like, is so, like, crazy. Like, I saw a video of somebody making iguana tacos the other day, and, like, I understand iguanas are invasive species, and most of the time I would be like, fuck them kids, fuck them iguanas. Oh, it was so disgusting. Like, I just did not like it. It made me so, like, it made me so sick to my stomach to think about. Ugh. Anyways. Ugh. Guys, that was okay, never mind. I'm gonna shut up now. I triggered the fuck out of myself. Anyways, that's life. I also thought it would be funny. I need to stop moving around so much because this chair is loud. Okay. Let's see here. I know it's like already February, but oops. I know it's already February, but whatever. I have some things to talk about. Well, first of all, I wanted to talk about my ins and outs of 2026. I know we're a little further into the year, but I posted this on my Instagram and I thought it was funny. And I also think it would be funny as my first video to kind of go over. We'll start with the outs, what we're not bringing into 2026, what we're leaving behind. And I wrote this at a very spiteful time in my life, and I think I still stand by it. What's out? Wishing people who wronged you well. I would say that my ex-fiance and I are on somewhat amicable whatever. I think that just whenever other people get involved in people's past bullshit, it just becomes super complicated. So, it's just been up and down, honestly, and it's not my fault. There's a third party involved in this, and it's not my fault. Labubu's and overconsumption. We are not going to Miniso, we are not going to whatever. I love, like, little, like, calico critters, Sylvanian families. I'm cutting myself off in 2026, mostly because they're expensive. Second of all, because I just like buying these tiny meaningless things. Like, I mean, gifts are fun. Like, if you receive them as a gift, if you buy them as a gift, like, those are cute. But, like, just buying them to have them is kind of just a lot. As I say, with, like, so much bullshit behind you. But that's why we're decluttering. We're getting rid of this stuff. We don't need it. Wearing luxury brands as a status symbol, I think, is just so tacky these days. Like, nobody gives a fuck that you can afford Gucci, Louis Vuitton, even, like, the rich people. Like, I have been around some, like, actually rich people, and they wear, like, t-shirts, like, plain black t-shirts that cost, like, $500, and it's just, like, why? Like, why? Just because you can? Like, that's weird. It's wasteful, it's a disgusting display of wealth, and I think that it's just stupid, and I think we should all thrift and buy with intention. And I'm not saying, like, you should buy everything from the thrift store. I think you should be very intentional when you do buy stuff from the actual store. I think that it would help a lot more. You know what I mean? Male-centered women, yeah. Homegirl, if you cannot separate yourself from a man, if you cannot shut the fuck up about a man, if you cannot stop pining after a man, if you cannot stop fawning after the attention of a man, get the fuck away from me. Because, like, why? Why do you always have to have a man in your life? Like, that's weird. Like, that's boring. Like, I think that men, straight men, kind of, like, ruin the vibe. If you're my gay bestie, if you're gay, if you're my queer bro, don't listen to me. This only applies to straight men who just bring down the mood, bring down the vibes. Like, I also wrote dating apps and the idea of soulmates. I am still on the dating apps because I think that it's funny. Am I looking for love? No. Do I want to go on a date and meet random people? Kind of, yeah. Has it happened so far? Not really, because, like, just people on these apps are, I feel like apps, the reason why I wrote this is because it's just kind of like a weird negative validation loop of, oh, like, so somebody hot that I find attractive finds me attractive, like, that must mean that I'm attractive, you know what I mean? Like, look in the mirror, babe, you're hot. And you don't need a man who, like, looks hot to like you. He probably has a really shitty personality. You know what I mean? And then the idea of soulmates, I think that just the idea of, like, oh, the right one is out there for you, and you just have to find him. Or he's waiting for, like, that idea, no. Because then we're centering men in our lives. Why am I living my life to find the man? But if you are a very hot, tattooed Polynesian man, pretend you did not hear that. And please slide into my DMs. Indigenous people gotta stick together. Sorry. AI and hating on Canva. I use Canva for everything. You wouldn't know because I'm an artist and I know how to use it. So you're just mad because you spent all that time to learn Photoshop, and I know how to use Photoshop. I know how to and I prefer Canva. I can lickety split. I got you something lickety split. Hating, like, AI, we all know AI fucking sucks. Hating on Canva. Also, I learned if you have, if you're sick and tired of using Google and then, like, the first thing that pops up is AI, I think there's, like, a browser called I don't know, something, and, like, for every search, it plants a tree, which is, like, better than a fucking AI answering your goddamn question and then ruining everything. Pretending to have it all together, kind of self-explanatory. If you can see, I don't have it all together. Life is pulling me by the fucking thong, and I'm just kind of along for the ride. Let's see. Forgiveness, go fuck yourself. People who can't make you laugh. If you're not funny, literally just leave me alone. Because, like, if you're gonna talk to me and you can't crack a joke and you can't, like, make me smile or chuckle or whatever, like, why are we even talking? Like, you have to entertain me. Like, everybody has to entertain me. Like, if you're not entertaining me, then, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, having humor and being funny adds value to you as a human being. And I don't make the rules. I just enjoy life. Not reading a real book. Fuck your audiobooks. I understand you're busy, well, whatever. Like, pick up a fucking chapter book, bro. Like, read some fucking Treehouse, whatever the fuck, time traveler bullshit. Read the what's the fucking book with the mouse? With the Mortimer Mouse? Read Junie B. Jones. Like, literally just pick up a fucking real book. Flip the fucking pages. Like, I have, like, this random poetry thing that I get from Barnes & Noble. It costs $6. Just pick up a real fucking book. A real book. No more digital shit. I also, well, let's move on. To the ends of 2026. Being weird. Self-explanatory. I'm so tired of trying to be cool. I feel like it just makes me worried too much about everything that I do. How I laugh, how I stand, how I sit, how I blow my nose, how I burp, whatever. I'm tired. I am so tired. I want to be weird and I want to be quirky and I just, like, want to exist without worrying about whether or not people think I'm cool. Having a fucked up sleeping schedule and just sleeping when you want. Yeah, because some days I have to get up really fucking early and then, like, I'm going to bed at, like, 6 p.m. and then I wake up super fucking early and then I take a nap and then I'm, like, up at 3 a.m. and then, like, I went to bed at, like, 5 a.m. and then, yeah, so this is kind of, like, my morning, and, like, that's okay, because, like, the only thing you can do at night is shop, so it's saving me money. Physical media, this is what I was getting to. We want books, we want real things that you can pick up. We want journals, we want to write shit down. You know what I'm saying? Painting, crafting, everything. I understand that is kind of wasteful and takes up a lot of space, but I'm not saying that you need to get your screen time down, but we definitely need to do something to make us less reliant on our phones, on our computers. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have this shit, like, I have my laptop on, it's rolling, it's going, it's on, it's playing music, it's doing something, but I am doing something outside of that. I am cleaning, I am doing laundry. I am laying there. I am reading a book. I am twiddling my thumbs. I'm flicking the bean. I'm doing something outside of my phone. But it's just, you don't have to get rid of it in all of it, but you definitely have to, like, find a balance. I say as my screen time is pretty fucking high. Writing notes on everything, I just think it's, like, gonna be really cutesy when we look back in a year, and, like, we wrote, like, a little note to ourselves, and you're like, that's so cute, she wrote that down, like, that's for me, I wrote that, you know what I mean? Like, I think that it'll be really fun, like, if you journal and, like, you just, like, have an idea, or if you're reading and then you have a little idea and you write down the book, you know, it's just, like, those kinds of things are gonna be so cute to, like, find later on, and, like, they're just, like, little messages from yourself, and, like, who does not want that? Like, that is, like, that's whimsy, whims max, we're whims maxing. We're whims maxing this year, we're becoming more whimsical. What was next? Oh, making your own dupes. Can't afford it? Make it. You know, if you see something on, like, Pinterest and then, like, you click on it, it takes you to an Etsy link, just make it yourself. Just make it yourself. Just go to... And I'm not trying to tell you to support, you know, specific businesses, but, like, some businesses are a lot more cost effective than others. Hobby Lobby. Just go to the craft store and fucking make it yourself. You'll feel better about yourself. It might cost the same amount of money, but you'll feel better about yourself. It'll be yours. It'll be custom. And I promise you, like, whatever you're making it out of is the same quality that you would get from whoever the fuck you're buying it from. You know what I mean? They probably went to Hobby Lobby, bought that shit, and slapped it together and sold it on Etsy. You know what I mean? Just fucking make it. Just fucking make it. We're customizing everything. Pretending to be famous, that's something that I've, like, kind of really loving so far. I have kind of been pretending like I'm famous on social media and, like, posting as if people give a fucking shit, because I just think that it's so fun. I just think that it, like, it exudes confidence. It's not cocky, it's confident. It's, we love ourselves, we know our worth, we are having fun, you know what I mean? Like, I think that it like, that is the number one way to just kind of be like, fuck you, whatever, I don't care. And I feel like, I mean, Hudson Williams is famous, but I feel like he's the blueprint for, like, the way to be famous, is to not give a fuck, you know? Like, I think his authenticity is very interesting, and I'm loving, and I even, like, love Chappell Roan, you know what I mean? Like, I think that she's not afraid of retaliation to her, you know, image or whatever, because she's so busy. Like, she is an artist and she's creating art. All of the bullshit that you have to do to market yourself and market your art and, like, get your name out there is just kind of background bullshit. And at the end of the day, it really kind of doesn't matter. She's not eating puppies. She's not killing people. I mean, even if she did, I support women's rights and wrongs. So, you know, she's, like, literally, like, I mean, if she is, then cancel her. But, like, she's not. So what the fuck are you gonna do about it? I think that, like, people who are there to do their art and nothing more, and, like, are just so sick and tired of this stupid, you know, machine that is made to, like, profit off of your everything about you, is just insane. But yeah. Also, next, objectifying men. I think we need to objectify men a lot more. I think that men, it's your turn. I think, respectfully, we should start catcalling, because everything women do is respectful. So, there's no way to, like, disrespectfully catcall a man, because they've been doing it for generations, and I think we need to start doing it to them. I think we need to start calling men pretty. I think that we need to start, you know, staring at their butts, and yeah, I think that that's what's in store for 2026. I think that's exactly what we're doing to all men. I think we're picking a favorite part on a man's body and then talking about it. Anyways, also, I think that judging people is in for 2026. And I don't mean judging people and, like, you're weird. Like, that's not cool. I think judging people for just, like, doing, like, the worst fucking shit. I think that there are some people out there who kind of live their life only for them, with no higher purpose to serve their community, to be a better person, to care for those around them, and I think we need to judge them for it. I think we do. I think they need to be judged. I think they need to be shamed. It's not going to make them a better person, but it's definitely going to make them feel bad. Anyways, those are my ins and outs for 2026. Let's see here. There was another thing that I was going to look at. Oh, like I said, being weird is on the itinerary for 2026. And so, therefore, I created a list of things that keep me weird. Being gassy. I have tummy issues. I've always had tummy issues. I try not to eat or consume dairy. But no matter what the fuck I do, our food is just so processed these days. I don't know what the fuck is going to make me fart and what's not going to make me fart. I can do my best to avoid dairy because that's a guaranteed fart nation, fartville, fart everything. We're farting on all of it. I'm a very gassy person. I feel like most of my gas comes in the form of a burp than a fart. I do have this weird thing where I can't fart while I'm sitting down, so if I have my butt cheeks up against something like this equally, I cannot fart. It won't come out. If I push, I'm pretty sure I would shit myself before I fart. You have to give it the, ooh, like, you kind of have to, like, lift a cheek up or something, but, like, I've never been able to, like, maybe, like, once or twice in my life, and it's been, like, a monumental occasion when I've been able to fart with both my cheeks on something. I love to burp. I just think that I love to burp. Like, I love just having a soda and then burping. I think that it is such a beautiful way to release gas. I think that it is respectable and it hurts nobody. Sometimes a burp stinks, but it just, whew, as quick as it came, it left. A fart, on the other hand, that just sticks around. It's like a ghost. It just haunts you. And, like, you think it's gone, and then you, move your elbow, like, an inch, and then the fart's back. So, a burp is a lot less haunting. You can just, and it's gone. Being ethnically ambiguous. I feel like this is becoming more common as we mix races. I love a mixed race, bitch. I love when I look at you and I don't know what the fuck you are. I love being, like, confused as shit. I'm like, okay, you're hot. I don't know what you are, but you're hot. And it's never, like, what you think it is. Like, they're like, I'm Cambodian, or, like, whatever. And you're like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I've been seeing a lot more half Mexican, half Japanese people. I'm loving it. Yeah, I would consider myself to be ethnically ambiguous, even though people just look at me and they're like, Mexican, Latina. I'm not. I'm Native American, which confuses a lot of people because it's like, I don't look Native American, because I'm not from, like, a very big stereotypical tribe. I'm from a very, very small one where people are very short. I'm, like, one of the tallest people in my family. I'm, like, one of the tallest people in my family that is, like, full Native American. My mom is the tallest person in our family. She's 5'5". But yeah, my white cousin is, like, probably the tallest person in our family. But, she's white, so. Yeah. Being vertically challenged is a part of my DNA. And it's, like, funny because it's, like, kind of like a joke across, like, nations that we are, like, the short people. And, like, the men do the thing where they tie their bandana on the side of their head and people say it's because their arms are too short. I think that's funny. Yeah. Anyways, being an ugly child, if you were a cute kid and you were, like, a beautiful child, get the fuck away from me. Because if I look at you, if I look at your baby pictures, if I look at your kid, like, little kid pictures, and I don't go, you look like a Muppet. If you don't look like a Muppet when you were, like, 6 years old, I'm not gonna say the second number, if you don't look like a fucking Muppet in those pictures, you don't have a personality. You're boring. You're boring. Or you're traumatized. If you're like a cute kid and you're traumatized, then maybe you have a personality. Maybe. But if you were like a Muppet looking ass kid, come over here. Let's be friends. Let's be best friends. But yeah, I'm judging you if you were a cute kid. Okay, let's see. Indigenous teasing, I feel like really keeps you weird because like your brain just goes to like these random places. Like I know I might not be very funny on my own, but if you put me in here with another person, specifically if they were Indigenous or a person of color, I think we would have some pretty good banter and it'd be really funny. Maybe only to us. If you're white, you probably wouldn't get it, but you know what I mean? Like I think that like keeps us like super weird, super humble because like we're talking about, you know, we're not going to get into it because it's kind of like not PC. But anyways, having a very traumatic childhood, I think that really keeps people weird. It keeps people guessing, like, do I have a dad? Don't I have a dad? If I have a dad, that's rude of you to assume that I don't. I don't, but, you know, it's kind of rude of you to think fatherless activities, but yeah, no, I don't. I saw something today on the internet that said that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein have more pictures together than me and my own father. It's so fucking true. There are maybe 5 pictures me and my father to ever exist. And that's being generous. Like, that means, like, that's, like, including, like, pictures where, like, my father and I were just, like, in the background on accident. Like, it's crazy. Having anxiety, I feel like, really helps you stay weird because, like, why am I worrying about flip-flops? Like, why am I leaving the house worrying that flip-flops are not adequate shoe for going shopping? Like, what if I'm so worried that I'm going to want to try on a shoe? Oh, can't. You're wearing flip-flops. No socks. If I'm, like, randomly, like, see a piece of furniture on the side of the road and I want to pick it up, and then I'm scared too because I'm wearing flip-flops, and I'm going to trip over my flip-flop or I'm going to drop something on my foot. I'm afraid that, like, I'm going to accidentally kick something and it's going to take my fucking toenail off. Anxiety. Anxiety keeps us weird. It keeps us on our toes, you know? Another thing that keeps me weird are my big doll eyes. It might not seem like it right now, but my eyeballs are fucking huge. I do have a pretty big face. I wouldn't say I have a big head, because, like, I don't know who decides that. I've yet to meet the cranium police who tells people that they have big heads. Joe Curie has a big head. But I feel like maybe it doesn't seem like I have a big head because I have broad shoulders. Like, look at these bad boys. These are some big shoulders. And when I was little, my mom told me that, like, it was very unsettling to have a child who just had gigantic eyeballs. She's like, isn't it crazy that your eyeballs have essentially been the same size since you were a baby? Could you imagine a baby with your eyeballs? Sometimes in photos, I look manic as fuck because, like, I have a hard time seeing in low light. Like, when I go to Disneyland, like, I went to Disneyland, like, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I had to buy sunglasses because I forgot mine. So that I could wear them before I get on a ride. Otherwise, if I don't wear sunglasses before I get on a ride, like, I will wear my, like, Haunted Mansion, I will wear my sunglasses throughout the entire queue and into the stretching room. Once the door closes on the stretching room, then I'll take my sunglasses off. Because my eyes don't transition very well, and I can't see shit. I can't. And it made a world of a difference. Maybe they just turn the lights up a little bit brighter on the ride, but I don't know. But I did that so that my eyes would adjust quicker, or, like, you know, before I get in there. Because, like, once you get into that, like, room where the hallway, where they funnel you onto the ride, I can't see anything. Like, even the portraits on the wall and the things that light up, I can barely see them. I can't. Like, I don't, like, and I was by myself for most of the day when I was at Disneyland, so I'm very glad that I did this. Otherwise, I would have been, like, holding on to strangers, unable to, like, walk, because I can't see. And it really is, like, kind of scary sometimes, especially when I drive at night. Anyways, another thing, being alone all the time. There's nobody in here right now. It's just me. I'm a little lonely. Just a little bit. Just a little. And I go and I bug my mom and my sister quite often. And then they kind of get scared when I don't bother them. Like, this week I've been at home a lot. So my mom's like, "Are you okay?" Because I haven't been at her house like 3 times a week. Anyways, I talk to myself. I watch movies by myself. I talk to my cats. Yeah, I just feel like being alone really keeps you weird because it's just like, you have to entertain yourself. It gets a little boring if you don't. You kind of feel crazy if you don't. So, you know, but that has been a list of things that keep me weird, my ins and outs, and a lore update. Can you believe that? I really need to stop moving around. Also, I need to eat something. I haven't eaten anything today. Usually I have my first meal around dinner time, which probably is really bad, but I'm just, like, so not hungry. I've lost about 20 pounds. You wouldn't know it, but if you were to look at a picture of me at Warped Tour in July, it's crazy the difference. I was also just, like, really going through a lot back then, and it just really was not good for me. I was very stressed, having, like, panic attacks every single fucking day, and yeah, my life without my ex-fiance, has changed everything. I feel like I'm experiencing everything in my adult life for the first time. Like, genuinely no read to him, but, like, I think that, like, being in his presence truly just made me hate myself, so I couldn't really enjoy anything. I'm a lot less anxious when I go out. There are some days when I, like, don't eat, and then, like, just whatever, like, the circumstances, the moon, I'm just not feeling really well. And I'll be anxious, but it's nothing compared to the anxiety that I felt before. I realized that I touch my face a lot more, which is kind of really gross, but I hated touching my face before because I thought I would die if I touched my face. Like, I genuinely believe that I touched something radioactive, and if I touched my face, it would melt off. That's an exaggeration, but for the most part, those kinds of things, like, were always in my mind. And then today, I was, like, going like this, and I was like, what the fuck have I touched today? Because I'm touching my fucking face. I, like, love to go out and party. I love to go to a rave. I love listening to different music. I just, like, love doing random things. And I feel like a lot of things back when I was in my relationship, I just did not love. I did not love experiencing a lot of things because I just was afraid of everything back then. And I feel like I'm experiencing life very differently now. It's kind of crazy. Like, I just feel like I feel like a different person. I'm feeling a new person. You know what I mean? Anyways. Let's see. My intentions for the year are to travel and work, meet new people, do random things, take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos, post them on the internet. That's all I plan on doing. I want to become my own boss, and I would be selling myself short if I didn't believe that I would be a good boss, but I definitely am a little scared because I don't really feel like I can handle the responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But I have big plans for this year, and if this is the only thing that I post, please don't mention it. Because it made me very sad, because that means that I didn't do anything that I planned this year, but it is a goal of mine to kind of share what this life is like for me, because I feel like as an Indigenous person, like, it's not like I experience color and sensation in the world, and, like, I'm so in tune with nature, blah, blah, blah. It's not that, it's just, like, I feel like an alien in this world sometimes. I feel like this world was not made for people like me. And being in it just is so fucking weird. And I feel like my perspective on things is very interesting, if anything. I'm very white on the inside. I'm not gonna lie to you, if you couldn't already tell by my voice. I'm a very Caucasian woman on the inside. Although I don't feel like I have the brain of a Caucasian. I just sound like it and I just act like it sometimes. I don't know any better. I grew up in the city, guys. I grew up in the city. I did not grow up on the reservation. So, yeah. But I know a thing about poverty. I know a thing or two about struggle. I know a thing or two about young parents. I know a thing or two about not going on a vacation every year. I'm basically from the hood. No, I'm really not. I'm from Ahwatukee, Arizona, which, if you knew, is a white suburb. And now you're like, that's why you are the way you are. Yeah, that's why I am the way I am. Thank you for noticing. Thank you. Anyways, I need to clean my fucking apartment. And I really kind of have run out of things to talk about. Not like anybody will watch this or anything, but if there were things that I were to talk about, what should I talk about? I'd love to talk to my friends on here. I would love to talk to strangers on here. I would love to talk about stuff in the music industry. I would love to talk about life, being young and single. Like, that's not anything new, but I feel like we only ever see and experience life being a single 20-something-year-old from the lens of a white person, which the sky's the limit. Like, white people make all the rules, so, like, of course they're gonna disobey all of them. But for brown people, I feel like there are a lot more interesting caveats and just things that you don't think about when it comes to experiencing life. You know what I mean? But thank you for listening to me. I hope it wasn't too terrible. And please encourage me to keep making random shit. I can't promise that anything is going to be consistent, but I feel I have been thinking about this for a really long time, and I feel like now, in my new freedom, is the time. Now is the time. Anyways, watch me as I completely transition to being a full-on white person. That's exactly what this fucking feels like to me. I feel like it's like, okay, I'm ready to be white now. I'm ready to be Caucasian. I love it when my white friends give me advice and I'm like, that sounds like a good idea for you. Like, I love all my friends. I love them. But, like, sometimes, like, I just don't think that they understand. Obviously, duh. But, like, I just, like, love it. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that is obviously the way that they've experienced life. But then I'm like, oh, yeah, I forget sometimes that we're very different. Like, but nonetheless, I fucking love them. I love them. If you see me with a white person, just know that they're safe. Marked safe by ALY. Approved by brown person. I promise you. They're like, if they can't be down with me as a brown person, I feel like they're a pretty good person. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pass my brown people test. Like, either the people that I'm around have, like, enough trauma or just, like, so open-minded about everything. Like, yeah. And, like, there's so many people that I meet these days and I'm like, oh, we would not get along. Like, a younger me would have been like, ooh, I don't like you because you're different. You're too rich. You're too whatever. But, like, there are some white people, some rich white people that you just, like, meet and you're like, what's wrong with you? Like, why do we get along? Like, there has to be something wrong with you. Otherwise, like, we totally would not vibe. Because, like, look at me. Anyways, all the brown people watching this are like, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Love y'all. The sound is included in the message.